Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in the last video, right, we saw how we can do the deserialization. So for deserialization, what we did, we created the Pojo classes from the response. Okay, so whatever response JSON response we are getting here, right? So this one is for get the issue. Okay, so if I go here get issue, so we don't have anybody, but whatever response we got, currently I don't know whether I can execute because it may need authorization. Let's see. Okay, because it needs authorization. If you want, I can do that here, like authorization. We have this, right? um, Authorization. Okay, so if I send it, could not connect to this. Okay, so because I have to run the Jira. So start Jira server. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, so I have to start this server, and then now it's running. Now if I run it, still it cannot. So let me see if we can run the Jira localhost 8080. So it's saying it cannot reach. So anyway, it is running here. Oh, but still now taking some time. Maybe now if you try. Okay, now it's running. Okay, so now it took some time. That's fine. So we can click on the send button, and this time it's successful. Still saying status service unavailable. This time we got some different response. So let me see what is happening here. Okay, so I think still maybe it is maybe still here it's still loading, right? Maybe that's the reason. So let's wait for some more time. So it's just we are loading in the localhost 8080. We just run the Jira server. So just we can wait for some time. Yeah, still it's saying the service is unavailable. So let me see. So still it's loading. Is ready now. Okay. So I think it's little slow. So that's why maybe it's taking time. Now let's see if we can do it from here. Okay, great. So now if you see, we got 200, right? So we got this authorization, this JSON cookie based code. So just copy it. And if you want to get this issue, go to the headers, go to the parameters. And we don't have anything here. Maybe in the headers, we have this cookie here. So if I run it now, okay, yeah, we are able to get the issue, right? So we got this issue, we copied it here, and then we changed it into the Pojo class. And then while we are validating here, so what we did, we are extracting the response as a get issue class. Okay, so get issue is the Pojo class. Okay, so the response that we are getting, we are changing it into the class, and then using that object we can just retrieve whatever fields we want and we can validate. So this process is called deserialization. When we are creating a Pojo class from the response JSON response, we are creating the Pojo class, and then we are validating that response using the object, that is called deserialization. Now let's see what is the what is serialization, right? So let me create one new class here. So it's just opposite. In the serialization, we will create the Pojo object out of the, you know, from the body, not from the response, from the request. Okay. So let's see that. So let me create a class here, and we can say like serialization. So we are learning two things. We are learning serialization, deserialization, and also we are learning Pojo class. Okay, nice. Now here, let's create something. Let's create one test annotation at the rate test public void, and the name of the test will be um, create issue. So we are going to create issue. Let's see this error. We can just import this test ng, and that error is gone. So good. Now what we can do, let's see here. So what I will do, I will just copy it here, and just I will copy this much part because we need this. I don't want to, you know, repeat this again. You already know it. So what we are doing is we just created the base URI, the same localhost 8080, and we created the object of the session filter, and then we just created the authorization here, and then we are storing it in the source session. Okay. So we are done. Now what we want to do? Now we want to create the issue using the API. Okay, so to create the issue, if you want to create a new issue, if you see in the Postman, this is our create issue, right? So no, this is the create issue here. Okay, so to create the issue, what we need? We don't need any parameter. Do we need any headers? Um, let's see if we need any header. Yeah, we need this JSON ID. If you see, this JSON ID is required here, and then we need the body, and body is the JSON, right? So in earlier examples we saw, like we can just provide that into the, if you go to any maybe earlier, we just provided that here, right? We can provide this body like this also. So we did like this, but now we will not provide the body because maybe the body is, you know, very complex body and very long. So we have also seen like we can create something like payload JSON, right? We created this payload JSON, and we can use it. This also we can do in this way also. But here what we want to do, we want to create a Pojo class, and then in the body we want to provide the object of that Pojo class. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So if you see the response here, right, let's copy it first, and you already know where we can see the tree structure of this, right? If I go and just copy, I just paste it here, and then we can see. Okay, so what is there? So there is a field class, because this is a curly braces, right? Inside the field class, what we have four things. One is the project, so that is a class because it has a curly braces. Summary is a string variable, description is a string variable, and issue type is a class. So we have to create a class for fields, and then we have to create a class for project. Okay, which will be the, you know, which will be like inside these fields, and then we will create a class for issue type. Inside the issue type class, there is a string variable. Inside the project, we have the key variable, string variable. Now you can create this Pojo class by yourself, but if you want, you can use this JSON schema to Pojo online thing. Is just free and online. What you have to do, you just paste your JSON here, and then you just go here and just click on the preview button. That's it. And then you can just copy your classes from here. So let me copy the class. So what I will do, we don't need this example, we need from here, we need this one. Okay, so let's copy it. So this is a fields class, so we need this fields class. Okay, here till here, right? Copy it, and just go into the Eclipse and create one more package. Maybe we can, for serialization, we can create maybe one more package to make it more, you know, separate. So let's create a, like we have a deserialization package. So let's say serialization Pojo. Okay, so that is just a name. You can give any name. or we can keep our class inside this Pojo also, that is fine, anywhere you can do. So here we have to create one class. The class name is fields, right? fields, fields. And inside this fields class, here just paste it and save it. Now we are getting the error, that is fine, because it has a reference of the some of the. Okay, so if you see this, let's rename this class first. Refactor it. fields, fields. That's fine. Now because it has a reference of issue type and uh, some other, so that's why we are getting. So let's create other class as well. So what is the other class that we have here is, if you go here, so the other class is issue type. Okay, so let's copy the issue type class here. So just copy this issue type till here. Okay, and then we have one more class, that is a project. Okay, so let's create a class issue type in this serialization Pojo. New class, let's see, issue typ issue type, and just click on the finish button. And then here again we can just do this. So we created issue type. Our issue type should be, again we have to refactor it because it should be the same name. So just click here, rename, and t should be small. That's it, only one change, and click on the OK button. Now we have to create the project class as well, right? So just copy it from here. See, now we have this last project class, and we can just close it. Okay, so if you go to the Eclipse, so you can create by yourself if you want, or you can just do it from here. So you, in the last video we already saw like how we can create Pojo classes by ourselves. Okay, but to save some time, since there is a utility, it's free online, we are just using that. But if you want, it's very easy. You have to just create the variable, and then you have to use the getters and setters method to create the methods. Okay, so it will be very easy. And now what I have to do is just create it and control V and control S. Okay, so there is something we copied which we don't need. I think our project is here. These things we don't need. Okay, this also we don't need then. I think we copied something which we don't. Class foo bar is not required. So let's delete this. We copied so many things. Class project, and then from here, okay, so there is no error in the project now, and then there is no error in the fields also, but there is some error in the issue type. So let's see why we have the error here. Let's see, go here. So because we have two packages here, just delete one. So now there is no error in the Pojo class. Okay, so just delete. So you can know, right, the fields. So what we have in the field class, we have the variable called, we have a class, like project is a class. See, private project. Okay, and then we have summary, that is a string variable. We have a description, we have a issue type as a class, and then we created two more classes, and then we have getter and setter. So that's very easy. Now just close everything. Okay, and now we are going to create the issue using the Pojo class, using the serialization concept. So if you go here, serialization.java, so what we want to do, we want to create the issue, right? So let me do that. How we can do that, let's see. So first we have to say given, right? So say given, given. What is a given? Given is the header, header. So we can copy this content, whatever this is there, right? Application JSON, we can copy it here. Control C. We also need the, we also need that session, right? So we already have the session here. So we can say this one, this session, because we have already created it. So we can say this given, what else? given dot when dot post. Okay, so inside the post we have to pass the object of that class, right? So what we have to do first, we have to create the object of that filled class, right? So let's see, we have the filled class here. So fields fields f is equal to new fields new fields. So let's import this from serialization, right? So we imported it from there, and then we can pass post f. Okay, dot. There is some error it is saying. So just give me a second, friends. Okay, so here we don't have to pass this, right? Sorry, friends. So post is still we have the URL here, right? So our post URL is this. So we want to create the issue. We will copy this part here, and we will pass it. So just pass it here, and just append this forward slash. Okay, so post given when dot. So where is the body? Body should be, you know, in the given itself, right? So let's put the body also here. Given filter dot body. To body we will say object. Okay, and object is f. So now it's not giving the error, right? So dot post, then we will say dot then what we want to verify, or you can say like, dot extract, whatever you can do, whatever you want. So if you see here, uh, once you execute this create issue, um, do we have here any? If you execute this, let's see, one create one issue 9 and see what is the response we are getting. Oh, great. So it's saying 404 non-authorized because we have to provide that authorization here. So this is the authorization key that we got last time. So we have to provide it here in the cookie, yeah, here in the JSON, right? Okay, but it's not editable. It's not editable. Okay, so let's run it again. Let's run it again. Okay, now it's created, right? So let's verify this 201 status code. So we will say then dot status code 201. Okay, you can extract also if you want, that's up to you. Okay, and also if you want to extract the response as a Pojo class, you can create a deserialization Pojo classes, and then you can do the same way we did it in the last video. So I'm not covering that deserialization again. So now this is done. Now here if you execute, it will fail because we created the Pojo classes, but we have not provided the data right into the Pojo classes. So in the Pojo classes, if you go here, so we have to provide the data to all these values like summary, description, issue type, everything. So we have the get method here, getter and setter. So we have to provide that. How we will do that? So we have to create the object of all the three classes. So fields, then issue type, typ. Issue type is, you can say, issue typ type is equal to new I double s issue type issue type. That's okay. Let's have it from serialization, and then also we have a project. So project project is equal to new. So we have to create the object of everything first. So import it. Okay. Now first let's create the data for project. Okay. So what is the project? Let's see. When you are creating project, so the project is, if you see here, project has, or we can see here also in this place, project has one string variable, and that string variable we can provide anything, right? So let's provide that string variable first, key, right? So you can say like project dot set key. So you can set the key is say whatever you want, like key from auto. So we can say like this. Then what in the issue type we can provide? So if you want to see in issue type, we have just the name issue type, like what is the issue type. Okay, so we can say issue type. Let's write that issue type, control V dot set, because we are setting everything, we are not getting. So set name. Okay, because if you see here, it's the name variable, right? So name is, you can say bug or whatever, or defect. Let's say defect, defect, defect. Okay, and then we have fields. So in the fields, what we have, f dot set. So we have three things: set issue type. So let's say issue type is issue type. Okay, we already have this variable. Then what else? Then f dot set set project, and we have the project. Then f dot set description. So in the description you can say, okay, why this is the project is here, because I have to provide this project. Description is hello log issue from automation. We can say like this. Okay, so we got this. Now what else? F dot set, um, so it's summary, right? Set summary. This is the last thing. So summary is application application crash, anything. Now I think we are good. Now if you run this, let's run it and see whether it's working. So we are running it. So it's failing somewhere. Let's see in the console. 201 but was 500. 201 but was 500. Why? So let's see. Do we have anything else like summary and description? Let's see if we have anything else. So we have summary, description, issue type, and project. And that fields. Inside the field, we have everything. So let's see what is the problem. Okay, friends. So I just added the log all here to see the log, right? So when I did that and I ran it, still failing, and it says some error message internal, right? So what I think, maybe we have to try, right? Here we have the project p small, fields f is small, and issue type I and t is small. So let's see if that is the issue. So let's change this as we have in the JSON, right? So refactor it. I'm just trying it. So I will say fields finish, still finish. Okay, and then we have so type refactor. Where is that? And the same thing I will do with the project. I'm just trying why it is failing. So and then I click on the finish button. Okay, now if I run it again, if you come here and see field shape, issue type, or you can just okay, and project is project. Let's run it. So still it's failing. Okay, and it's failing because still it's getting 500 some error. So let me debug it first. Okay, friends. So still it's failing. So what I'm thinking, I think we did one mistake. If you see, I just put the log all, and when we see, so we are getting the JSON like this. Project is first, summary is that, right? That's how we added it here. But it should be, I think, exactly same. Like first the fields, then project, then summary, like that. So let's do like that. So first is here. We will say first. What is the first thing is project, right? So the project, this is the first. Control X, Control V. After the project we have summary description, right? So summary and description. So this is the summary, and then we have the description, and then we have the, now let's run it and see this time what is happening. Still it's failing. Mm, Still it is failing. So let me see what is happening now. Okay, friends. So if you see right here, we have everything, like we have the project, we have the summary, we have, but we don't have the fields. So I think we missed one class when we generated it here. If you go to here and you see it, we just missed one class, and that is, the first, it's the first class itself, and that was this example class. Okay, so I think we need to have it. Okay, so let me do this also. This example class. So example class is like very small fill here. Okay. So just copy it and let's have it and see what is this one. In the serialization here, new class, and this is like examp example, or you can give any name to this. Okay, and then control V, control X. Just give me a second. Okay, so okay, I just copied this here, and then let's see what is the issue here. Public class example. So here the fields, we have to change it to fields fields, and then here fields fields, fields fields, and then so here in this class we have a fields, and then we don't need actually these things. We can remove it from here. Let's remove this. So we have a this, and then we have a getter, setter, and these maps we don't need. We can remove it from here. JSON property. Why it is asking to import JSON property? Okay, that's fine. So in this we have fields, just fields. Okay. So now here in this serialization we have to create the object of this example as well. Okay, so let's create the example here. So friends, we change this name, right? Like fields to small f, doesn't matter, you can make it like capital, doesn't need to be same, but since we did it, so I'm just leaving it like that. Now let's create example. Example is equal to new example. Import this example. Okay, I think I imported it from the wrong place. So let's remove that example here. We need to import it from serialization, right? So here, just import it from here, and then uh, what we have to do, we added f. So ex exam es dot set 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 fields, and here we will say f. Okay, and then here instead of passing f, we will pass es in the body. In the body here, we will pass es, and then let's run it this time and see. So still it is failing. Okay, so let's see what is this time. What is the error? Mm, so it got fields. So if you see here in this, or you can go here. So it got fields. Inside the fields, we have projects key, we have summary, we have description, and then we have issue type. Maybe we don't have this issue type, so let's change this issue type to bug. Okay, here let's change it to the bug. VUG. Maybe in the Jira we will check it. Maybe if you log into the Jira and see, maybe they don't have the issue type like defect. So we'll change it to bug and see. So this time also it is failing. So let me check it again, friends. Okay, so now it's passed. So what I made the change, if you say this key, I think it should be LEAR here. Apart from that, you can have anything in the value. And I just added this header. Let me delete it and see whether it is working without this header or we need to add it. So if I run it now, so I just have this status code. So let's run it here now. Yeah, so it's failing because it's saying 201 status code, but it's giving 415. So we have to provide this header here, that is mandatory. So let's run it now. So now if you see, it is passing, right? So we are good. So we just learned the serialization using the Pojo class. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you.